Fascination in weather started when I was in preschool, and it was more of actually a fear for me. I used to be real scared of thunderstorms when I was growing up in preschool, and one of the things that I would always do, especially when there's a thunderstorm at night, when you're trying to get to sleep, and you see that bright flash of light outside your window, and followed by a loud clap of thunder. Well, that would always scare me. So what I always did was run over to my mom and dad's room at night, and they would get a little bit annoyed with me, especially during the summertime, spring and summer.
Now, was this in Kansas City?
Yeah, I grew up in Kansas City. Yeah,
so
right.
The weather can be pretty wild down there.
Yeah, pretty unpredictable, storms, snow, everything. And so obviously of course, I knew what I was scared of. Well, as I grew a little bit older, started to watch television so I could figure out when there's going to be a chance of storms in the forecast. And one of the key things that I chose to do was I went to the library to check out books about weather so I could understand. Okay, so that's what causes lightning and tornadoes and hurricanes, and the more I read about weather, the more I became interested, and I kept watching television, and really that's just how things happen. So when I got to middle school in 8th grade, I wrote a local meteorologist, and I told him, hey, my name is CT. I'm an 8th grader at Eastgate Middle School in Kansas City, Missouri, and I think I figured out I want to be a meteorologist when I grow up, and asked him some questions, and Brian Busby, the chief meteorologist at KMBC in Kansas City, took the time to write me back, and pretty much has served as my mentor since. And that letter that he wrote back was dated August 1st, 1990. I started violin actually when I was in 5th grade, and part of a public school string program, and stuck with violin throughout middle school and high school, and I did study music in college, and I did play for a couple of orchestras, the Kansas City Philharmonia and the Columbia, Missouri Civic Orchestra. So I've had a chance to enjoy some classical music. Now I serve on the worship team over at Divine Shepherd Lutheran Church. So so I have a very diverse experience with playing the violin.
You went off to Missouri, University of Missouri.
Right. University of Missouri, Columbia. My degree, I have a Bachelor of Science in Soil and Atmospheric Science, and the curriculum is broad enough for that way I can apply to be a meteorologist for the National Weather Service. I can pretty much serve as any type of forecasting position because I have the math and science background versus only the broadcasting. When I enrolled at the University of Missouri Columbia, my first semester, and I'll never forget this, but it was my intro to meteorology class, atmospheric science, 105 I think, and the news director at KMTV-TV, which is the ABC affiliate in Columbia, Missouri, not the one that's associated with the journalism school, but she sent a message out to my then college advisor who taught our intro to meteorology class, and he said for any students majoring in meteorology who are wanting to pursue a career in broadcast meteorology, this is an opportunity, and you should take it seriously. So I set up an interview pretty fast with the news director. Started out in the fall semester of '95 at KMIZ, just doing a lot of grunt work, and stuck with it. Eventually got an on-air job in the summer of 1997, doing some updates during the CBS, or I should say ABC News in the morning, and it blossomed to a weekday morning position on a brand new morning newscast while I was in college, and the rest is history.
Well, how did it come to pass that you came to KMTV in Omaha?
Okay, well, I stuck at KMIZ-TV, of course, in Columbia through the end of my college career, which was May of 2002. Since I'm from Kansas City, I decided to move back home because I didn't have a job lined up right away, so I lived at home with Mom and Dad, and I connected with my mentor from back in middle school, Brian Busby, and he was nice enough to set up an internship for me that summer at KMBC. And through interning at that TV station, Brian has also allowed set up a lot of his former interns that opportunity, and all of us to network together. And because I interned under Brian Busby, I eventually got a chance to know Ryan McPike, who also, by the way, is another University of Missouri graduate, and we just missed each other by a semester. But we connected through Brian, and Ryan McPike found out that I was an out-of-college graduate needing a job, and got an interview set up, and within about 2.5 weeks, got my job and got an on-air position at KMTV.
And you became a veteran at KMTV. You were there a long time.
Yeah, I started at KMTV Channel 3 back March 31st, 2003, and that was the time when then Mary Williams, a longtime veteran of the Omaha media market, she was going on maternity leave, and I been just working the morning newscast at Channel 3 since 2003, and I still do it today here in 2012, at least for just a little while longer.
So you're heading to RFD-TV.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
My new position here, beginning in April, is Chief Meteorologist for RFD, and RFD is a company that's based here in Omaha, and they run the owner, Petrow, has developed a cable network that started about 11, almost 12 years ago, and he caters to a niche market of farmers, ranchers, essentially viewers who live in rural areas, because he wanted a way to deliver news and content that concerns people who live in places outside the city. And he's able to now, his network expands across the whole country on a lot of cable systems, also DirecTV, and beginning here in a matter of days with Dish Network. And one of the sub-channels of RFD, Rural TV, will be launching a newscast here beginning at the start of February. And they're doing a 5-hour-long newscast that has a feel of MSNBC, Fox News Channel, but is more agribusiness, and he needed somebody to do weather, and Patrick Gotch, the president of RFD, sought me out, and this happened at a time that was very convenient in my career and life, and so I'll be wearing a hat of chief meteorologist in April. So it'll be interesting and different for me to go from a local television audience to a national audience, speaking on not only the national weather conditions, but also for anything that concerns farmers as far as precipitation, anything that causes any disruption to agriculture. It's going to be a completely new challenge for me.
So as you reflect on your years in Omaha,
yeah,
what are your takeaways?
Well, you know, Omaha has grown me a lot in terms of my personal life and my professional life. I've learned to become a lot more comfortable with myself in front of the camera, which really is the most important lesson that I've learned as being an on-camera presenter. Because when you watch somebody on television, you have a personal connection with them, and the thing is, if you watch somebody on television for a long time, you feel like that you've known them for a long time. They're a personal friend, and it's simply because their true personality shines in front of the camera. And that was an important concept that I really learned here in Omaha. Because of the weather, it's also helped me to better my career as a forecaster in terms of predicting snowstorms, severe thunderstorms, and also work in a teamwork environment, because a lot of the times we would face situations during the spring and early summer that we would go wall to wall, covering tornadoes, hailstorms, things like that. And I have to be able to work on the same wavelength as my chief meteorologist, and successfully able to do that a number of times, covering severe weather events. So, as I said, Omaha has given me a chance to grow a lot, my personal life, but especially my professional life, being a meteorologist, of course.